Courtyard 35 by Wei Studio in Beijing, China. Wei Studio recently designed the renovation of an old and secluded courtyard in the center of Beijing, and transformed it into an urban attraction, incorporating a micro-mixed-use complex. In the design, Wei Studio considers the relationship between old and new, between outside and inside, and positive and negative space, to create a cloudscape insertion that mediates the relationship between nature, man, and man-made, to emphasize the spatial experience of the void, further enhancing its relationship with its surroundings, and adding to the urban fabric of Beijing. Something old, something new. Creating for the present with consideration of the future and the past. This project is an exploration of tradition and preservation, the relationship between new and old, and the consideration for the present about both the future and the past. We hope to show that preserving Chinese tradition is not simply a replication of existing historical pavilions and towers, but a spirit of innovation that is a journey of discovery and awareness. Therefore, we intentionally created an interplay of old and new within the space. The project is located in the center of Beijing, within the immediate surroundings of the imperial palace which would have housed the royal extended family in its midst historically. In the 1990s, after multiple renovations and the expansion of roads, a smaller isolated irregular courtyard with a mix of old and new decorative styles that lacked unity or purpose, with only the shadows of its previous identity maintained in its spatial sequence. Consequently, just 1 block away is the central commercial area of Wang, which is a major bustling hub of the city. To tap into that energy from the new commercial area nearby while mediating its proximity to our historic center, we focused on the negative space within the courtyard instead of the building itself, and transformed the area into a more urban and public space, creating a natural gathering place within the courtyard. The insertion of the cloudscape bridge reshapes the spatial order and changes people's preconceptions about how traditional courtyards can be repurposed. In the transformation of Courtyard 35, we aim to retain the essence of the courtyard, while redefining the flow of space and incorporating a variety of functional areas. The space transfigures from an originally introverted state into a small commercial complex accommodating modern functions and aesthetics. Cloudscape, art of the void in nature, man, man-made and man-made landscape. To activate the public spaces deep within the city, the architectural renovation did not alter the original building. Instead, the cloud bridge was added to play with the void. The cloud bridge itself is an installation piece. Not only is it a statement between new and old, but it is also a frame providing precious moments with nature in the urban landscape. We have an innate fascination with curves to a certain extent, we also being made of curves, and the organic shapes they create are what brings us closest to creating nature. During the renovation process, Wei Studio redefined the skyline of the traditional ZeQun courtyards with a cloud bridge, forging a new relationship between natural and man-made spaces. Upon entering, the first impression is of a cloud-shaped corridor floating within the courtyard embracing 2 towering ancient trees. The cloud bridge is made of twisted mirror images floating above, abstracting the immediate surroundings and offering visitors an unexpected experience. The bridge becomes an extension of the architecture, reorganizing the relationship between the building and the void, creating gray areas that alter the way the space is navigated. As the major component of creating an ambience of otherworldliness, the cloud bridges give the sense of separating the ground and the clouds. Having a higher perspective of the courtyard is a new experience, and the peaking rooftops of the traditional courtyard house are almost like mountain peaks among the clouds. The design integrates the old with the new, preserving the essence of the ZeQun courtyard, while introducing contemporary elements that enhance the interaction between the architecture and its users, the architecture and nature, the user and nature. The cloud bridge not only redefines the architectural landscape but also serves as a medium for social interaction, bringing vitality and a new dimension to the traditional courtyard.